Wherever you are, be there totally. Can you give some more examples of ordinary unconsciousness? See if you can catch yourself complaining in either speech or thought about a situation you find yourself in, what other people do or say, your surroundings, your life situation, even the weather. To complain is always non-acceptance of what is. It invariably carries an unconscious negative charge. When you complain, you make yourself into a victim. When you speak out, you are in your power. So change the situation by taking action or by speaking out if necessary or possible. Leave the situation or accept it. All else is madness. Ordinary unconsciousness is always linked in some way with denial of the now. The now, of course, also implies the here. Are you resisting your here and now? Some people would always rather be somewhere else. Their here is never good enough. Through self-observation, find out if that is the case in your life. Wherever you are, be there, totally. If you find your here and now intolerable, and it makes you unhappy, you have 3 options. Remove yourself from the situation, change it, or accept it totally. If you want to take responsibility for your life, you must choose one of those 3 options, and you must choose now. Then accept the consequences. No excuses, no negativity, no psychic pollution. Keep your inner space clear. If you take any action, leaving or changing your situation, drop the negativity first, if at all possible. Action arising out of insight into what is required is more effective than action arising out of negativity. Any action is often better than no action, especially if you have been stuck in an unhappy situation for a long time. If it is a mistake, at least you learn something, in which case it's no longer a mistake. If you remain stuck, you learn nothing. Is fear preventing you from taking action? Acknowledge the fear, watch it, take your attention into it, be fully present with it. Doing so cuts the link between the fear and your thinking. Don't let the fear rise up into your mind. Use the power of the now. Fear cannot prevail against it. If there is truly nothing that you can do to change your here and now, and you can't remove yourself from the situation, then accept your here and now totally by dropping all inner resistance. The false, unhappy self that loves feeling miserable, resentful, or sorry for itself can no longer survive. This is called surrender. Surrender is not weakness. There is great strength in it. Only a surrendered person has spiritual power. Through surrender, you'll be free internally of the situation. You may then find that the situation changes without any effort on your part. In any case, you are free. Or is there something that you should be doing but are not doing? Get up and do it now. Alternatively, completely accept your inactivity, laziness, or passivity at this moment if that is your choice. Go into it fully. Enjoy it. Be as lazy or inactive as you can. If you can go into it fully and consciously, you will soon come out of it. Or maybe you won't. Either way, there is no inner conflict, no resistance, no negativity. Are you stressed? Are you so busy getting to the future that the present is reduced to a means of getting there? Stress is caused by being here but wanting to be there, or being in the present but wanting to be in the future. It's a split that tears you apart inside. To create and live with such an inner split is insane. The fact that everyone else is doing it doesn't make it any less insane. If you have to, you can move fast, work fast, or even run without projecting yourself into the future and without resisting the present. As you move, work, run, do it totally. Enjoy the flow of energy, the high energy of that moment. Now you are no longer stressed, no longer splitting yourself in two. Just moving, running, working, and enjoying it. Or you can drop the whole thing and sit on a park bench. But when you do, watch your mind. It may say, you should be working, you are wasting time. Observe the mind, smile at it. Does the past take up a great deal of your attention? Do you frequently talk and think about it, either positively or negatively? The great things that you've achieved, your adventures or experiences, or your victim story and the dreadful things that were done to you, or maybe what you did to someone else, Are your thought process creating guilt, pride, resentment, anger, regret, or self-pity? Then you are not only reinforcing a false sense of self, but also helping to accelerate your body's aging process by creating an accumulation of the past in your psyche. Verify this for yourself by observing those around you who have a strong tendency to hold on to the past. Die to the past every moment. You don't need it. Only refer to it when it is absolutely relevant to the present. Feel the power of this moment in the fullness of being. Feel your presence. Are you worried? Do you have many what-if thoughts? You are identified with your mind, with projecting itself into an imaginary future situation and creating fear. There is no way that you can cope with such a situation because it doesn't exist. It's a mental phantom. You can stop this health and life-corroding insanity simply by acknowledging the present moment. Become aware of your breathing. Feel the air flowing in and out of your body. Feel your inner energy field. All that you ever have to deal with, cope with in real life, as opposed to imaginary mind projections, is this moment. Ask yourself what problem you have right now, not next year, tomorrow, or 5 minutes from now. What is wrong with this moment? You can always cope with the now, but you can never cope with the future, nor do you have to. The answer, the strength, the right action, or the resource will be there for you when you need it, not before, not after. One day I'll make it. Is your goal taking up so much of your attention that you reduce the present moment to a means to an end? Is it taking the joy out of your doing? Are you waiting to start living? If you develop such a mind pattern, no matter what you achieve or get, the present will never be good enough. The future will always seem better. A perfect recipe for permanent dissatisfaction and non-fulfillment. Don't you agree? Are you a habitual waiter? How much of your life do you spend waiting? What I call small-scale waiting is waiting in line at the post office, in a traffic jam, at the airport, or waiting for someone to arrive to finish work and so on. Large-scale waiting is waiting for the next vacation, for a better job, for the children to grow up, for a truly meaningful relationship, for success, to make money, to be important, to become enlightened. It is not uncommon for people to spend their whole life waiting to start living. Waiting is a state of mind. Basically, it means that you want the future, you don't want the present. You don't want what you've got, and you want what you haven't got. With every kind of waiting, you unconsciously create inner conflict between your here and now, where you don't want to be, and the projected future, where you want to be. This greatly reduces the quality of your life by making you lose the present. There is nothing wrong with striving to improve your life situation. You can improve your life situation, but you cannot improve your life. Life is primary. Life is your deepest inner being. It is already whole, complete, perfect. Your life situation consists of your circumstances and your experiences. There is nothing wrong with setting goals and striving to achieve things. The mistake lies in using it as a substitute for the feeling of life, for being. The only point of access for that is the now. You are then like an architect who pays no attention to the foundation of a building but spends a lot of time working on the superstructure. For example, many people are waiting for prosperity. It cannot come in the future. When you honor, acknowledge, and fully accept your present reality, where you are, who you are, what you are doing right now, when you fully accept what you have got, you are grateful for what you have got, grateful for what is, grateful for being. Gratitude for the present moment and the fullness of life now is true prosperity. It cannot come in the future. Then in time, that prosperity manifests for you in various ways. If you are dissatisfied with what you've got, or even frustrated or angry about your present lack, that may motivate you to become rich. But even if you do make millions, you will continue to experience the inner condition of lack. And deep down, you will continue to feel unfulfilled. You may have many exciting experiences that money can buy, but they will come and go and always leave you with an empty feeling and the need for further physical or psychological gratification. You won't abide in being and so feel the fullness of life now that alone is true prosperity. So give up waiting as a state of mind. When you catch yourself slipping into waiting, snap out of it. Come into the present moment. Just be and enjoy being. If you are present, there is never any need for you to wait for anything. So the next time someone says, "Sorry, I've kept you waiting," you can reply, "That's all right. I wasn't waiting. I was just standing here enjoying myself." Enjoy in myself. These are just a few of the habitual mind strategies for denying the present moment that are a part of ordinary unconsciousness. They are easy to overlook because they are so much a part of normal living, the background of static perceptual discontent. But the more you practice monitoring your inner mental emotional state, the easier it will be to know when you have been trapped in past or future, which is to say unconscious, and to awaken out of the dream of time into the present. But be aware. The false, unhappy self based on mind identification lives on time. It knows that the present moment is its own death and so feels very threatened by it. It will do all it can to take you out of it. It will try to keep you trapped in time. Okay, so what I just read from was one of my favorite chapters within The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. If you've listened to my content before, you've watched my videos, obviously you know that Eckhart Tolle has made such a profound positive impact on me, his work, the books that he has written and the videos that he makes on a consistent basis, and definitely inspired me to practice presence more consistently in my life, and of course has just made such a profound impact on me. The Power of Now, which I've read from before, I have another podcast recording where I read from this book, but I wanted to read from it again because I think this chapter specifically, and the kind of things that Eckhart writes about in this chapter, it's just very common. Chapter 4, it's called Mind Strategies for Avoiding the Now. And within that chapter, one of the biggest concepts he talks about is the importance of being wherever it is you are fully. Wherever you are, being there totally. And this concept really resonates with me because a lot of people, including myself, people who are ambitious, who have big goals, they want to reach somewhere. They want to get to a specific destination in their future, and they're discontent with where it is they are right now. They want something out there and they're discontent, they're unhappy with where it is they are currently. But if your inner state is one of discontent, being ungrateful and just wanting to get somewhere else, using this moment as a means to an end to getting wherever it is you want to go, even if you do get to the places that you want to get to, if your inner state is unhappy and ungrateful, even if you get to the places that you want to get to, you're still going to be unhappy and ungrateful and unfulfilled. Wherever it is you are, be there totally, be there fully, and embrace the now completely. The present moment is all we have, and our state of consciousness, our state of being in the now is going to determine what it is in the future, in the next moment, which comes as just another present moment. The mind tends to either dwell on the past or worry about the future, get anxious about what might happen in the future, and it uses various thought patterns to escape the now. One of the most common ways the mind avoids the present is by creating this identification with the past and what has happened in the past. And by doing so, the mind, the ego, keeps us disconnected and feeling like we're separate from our true essence, which is rooted and found in the present moment. By recognizing and disidentifying from the ego and from the mind and the thoughts that we think on a consistent basis that bring us into the past or into the future, we can kind of break free from these distractions and start to experience the peace that comes when we reconnect with our true essence, which is found in presence. Observe your mind when your mind tries to suck you into the past or send you into the future. The only thing that we have is the now. And I'm going to repeat that because it's incredibly important. The only thing that we have is the now. Living your life being sucked in the future or being sucked into the past, thinking about what happened in the past, regretting what happened in the past, or being anxious about what might happen in the future is a crazy way to live, and most people live their life like this, which is nuts. When you are fully in the now, truly present in the now, you are no longer bound by the distractions and the games of the mind and the ego, which pull you out of the now. Your life transforms for the better. So many people are physically present, but their mind is completely absent, completely not here, completely lost in thought, going down the rabbit hole of thought, I like to say, going from one thought to the next thought to the next thought, which leads you down a different train of thought, which leads you down a different train of thought. You are disconnected from life when this happens because life is only ever now. Because so many people live their life in this unconsciousness, they miss out on their life completely because life is only ever now. And their mind is elsewhere. Their mind is not in the now. It's in the past, it's in the future. It's not here. So the key, and what Eckhart talks about in this chapter, and what I want to get across in this recording, and why I recorded this in the first place and read from this chapter in the first place, is to hopefully remind you to engage yourself fully with whatever it is you're doing. I don't care if you're vacuuming your house or your apartment. I don't care if you're going for a walk, if you're walking your dog. I don't care if you're at work, if you're engaging in conversation with someone. Whatever it is you are doing, engage fully with that activity or with that thing. Whatever it is you're doing, engage fully with it. Eating, talking, walking, I don't care what it is. Engage fully in what you're doing. Even if it's just like meditating, just focusing on your breath. By being totally present, you can access that deeper sense of peace within inside yourself. That awareness. The more often you do this, the more often you engage yourself fully in whatever it is you're doing in the now, the less the mind will dominate your experience, the less those thoughts that you think consistently about the past or the future will dominate your mind when you are engaging in a specific activity. The less you'll feel pulled and dragged out of the now and into the future, the past. It kind of disassociates yourself from the old mental patterns, which is absolutely life-changing. Whatever it is you're doing, engage in it fully. Be here fully. I know this isn't something that you can just snap your fingers and instantly be present. Like, I know it takes time. So ask yourself, what can I do to start incorporating this practice more consistently in my life on a regular basis? Like, can I go for a 10 to 15 minute walk every day and just engage fully in that walk? Be fully here, noticing the steps that you're taking, your environment around you, being aware of your environment around you, rather than just letting your mind dominate the walk, for example. When you're doing work around your apartment or your home, like cleaning things, can you just clean to clean without cleaning, but thinking about a million different things about what you need to do tomorrow, about what you should have said to this person, like in the past? Like, can you just fully engage in what you're doing, fully engage in the cleaning? Can you have certain habits or certain activities that you do on a day-to-day basis where you allow yourself to just fully engage in the now? And if you do that and you see that you're more present as you're doing other things unrelated to the activity that you said you're going to be present in, like, you'll see how it positively impacts many different other areas of your life and how it translates to different areas of your life and just how you carry yourself. You're more present, you're more kind to yourself and other people. So that's all I really wanted to talk about in this recording, and the message that I wanted to get across in this recording. If you like these kind of recordings where I'm reading from a book or something, like, let me know so I can do more of them. And like I said, this book is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. If you haven't yet read this book and you enjoy my content and you are part of the Presence of Being community, like, go read this book. It will absolutely change your life. Also, I really enjoy listening to the audiobook version of this book because Eckhart reads it, and just listening to him talk is like a meditation in and of itself. It just makes you present. So I highly recommend reading this book or listening to this book. The chapter that I read from is called Mind Strategies for Avoiding the Now. I hope you got some value from listening to this. Thank you for being here and being a part of Presence of Being, and I will see you in the next recording very soon.